Welcome to this explainer, everybody. Today, we're breaking down a really fascinating healthy cookie recipe. If you're anything like me, you absolutely love a sweet treat, but you kind of want to keep things on the healthier side, right? Well, we're going to explore exactly how this creator pulls off a seriously surprising baking feat, all with just 5 minutes of prep time. So let's just tackle the elephant in the room. Can you really make delicious, healthy cookies while completely eliminating both refined sugar and traditional flour? I mean, let's be real. Traditional cookies rely heavily on those two things just to hold together and taste good. But we're going to dive into exactly how this recipe delivers on that zero sugar, zero flour promise so quickly. And the best part, it uses ingredients you probably already have sitting in your pantry right now. All right, let's look at the foundation here. Because we are ditching traditional wheat flour entirely, this recipe actually relies on a beautifully balanced, nutrient-dense base made up of toasted nuts and seeds. This is absolutely crucial. It's what's going to give your cookie its structure, that satisfying crunch, and honestly, a massive amount of its flavor. Now, what makes this recipe so incredibly easy to remember is the brilliant simplicity of the measurements. You literally just use exactly 20 grams, that's about 0.7 ounces, of every single one of these 6 ingredients. We're talking peanuts, almonds, cashews, walnuts, sunflower seeds, and pumpkin seeds. Seriously, there's no need for complex measuring cups or scales bouncing back and forth. Just a straight, uniform 20 grams across the board to build that hearty, nutty foundation. But hold on, you definitely don't want to just toss them into the mix raw. To really unlock the absolute deepest, most robust flavor from that mixture, and actually, the source outlines a specific 2-step process for this. You toast the first batch of nuts, so the peanuts, almonds, and cashews, and then you separately toast the walnuts alongside the sunflower and pumpkin seeds. Doing it this way elevates the essential oils and totally transforms the base of the cookie. Okay, moving right along. Once our nut and seed base is perfectly toasted and smelling amazing, we move on to adding some incredible texture and natural sweetness. We need to introduce the rest of our dry ingredients to really round out the cookie's body. So, what's the real star of the remaining dry mix? It's exactly 60 grams or roughly 2 ounces of rolled oats. The oats basically act as a fantastic binding agent alongside our nuts. They provide that classic, comforting chewiness you really want when you bite into a freshly baked cookie, all while keeping the whole thing entirely gluten-free and flour-free. Now, to really amp up that flavor profile, you simply mix in your spices and your fruit. The recipe calls for warming spices, some cinnamon and ginger, along with a mandatory pinch of salt just to balance out the sweetness. And for that natural, refined sugar-free sweetness, well, we bring back our magic number. You need exactly 20 grams each of dried cranberries and raisins. It perfectly mirrors the measurements we used for our nuts and seeds. Okay, so picture this. We have a bowl full of amazing, dried, toasted ingredients, plus our oats and our fruit. But how on earth do we get them to stick together? Let's explore the wet ingredients that are going to magically turn all these loose components into a solid, bakeable dough. Well, the standard binding mixture outlined in the source is surprisingly simple. You just need 2 tablespoons of honey, which is doing double duty here as both our binder and our primary sweetener. Then you add a single egg white, a little squeeze of lemon juice, and hey, if you want a bright citrusy kick, you can throw in some fresh lemon zest too. But wait, here is an absolutely brilliant pro tip. If you're someone who loves a crispier cookie, one with a bit more snap, you can just omit the egg white completely. To make up for that lost moisture, you simply add a little bit more honey. It is a super effective, easy hack to completely customize your crunch. All right, the dough is mixed up using either the standard egg white method or our sneaky extra honey hack. Now it's time for the oven. This is where those super quick 5 minutes of prep really pay off. The actual baking process is a total breeze. Just grease your pan with a little oil, shape the dough into 3-inch rounds, about 8 centimeters, and bake them at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, or 180 Celsius, for roughly 12 to 15 minutes. But listen, here is the absolute most crucial step. You have to let them cool completely after they come out. That resting time is what allows the honey and the oats to properly set up so they don't fall apart. Now, you can't just have freshly baked cookies without a great drink, right? To perfectly complement the flavors, recommends serving these alongside a comforting, warm beverage made of hibiscus, lemon, and honey. It's basically a perfect mirror for the bright, natural flavors that are baked right into the treats themselves. Create a perfectly structured, delicious sweet treat in just 5 minutes using uniform ratios and absolutely zero refined ingredients. Well, what other traditional baking rules are we ready to break? Armed with hacks like these, it just might be time to get into the kitchen and find out for yourself.